Hello, and welcome to our channel. In this series, we're using a booklet I composed entitled Kamatthana. It's available as an ebook, which you can find access to on this channel or from our website, Madrone Mountain Meditation .org. So we hope you'll consider downloading and follow along as we go page to page. Today we're on page 3, the Metta Sutra. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path to peace, capitalized. So on page 2, under Basic Buddhism, we were encouraged to avoid evil and do good. So here's a sutra, a teaching that is going to outline what doing good would look like. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied. So, upright means honest, reliable, and straightforward is another form of not being devious, not having ulterior motives, and gentle in speech. We're going to be talking about the definition of right speech, and one of the 4 definitions that is commonly given is gentle speech, speech which is not violent, angry, or ugly in its form. Humble and not conceited. Well, that's self-explanatory. However, true humility is a place, a state of consciousness that is free from the sense of I, that I am a humble person, that I am anything. So that level of humility is achieved only by the fully liberated ones, but the path to peace will result in that if we practice it day by day. Contented and easily satisfied. On page 2, we were given instructions, or we were given definitions of how to live with as simply as possible, to just know when enough is enough, and to not be hard to maintain, which is to be easily satisfied. Unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways. So that's a reinforcement of how to live a simple life. You might say how to downsize, both materially and emotionally, how to expect or demand less, and to develop a level of consciousness of satisfaction and equanimity with the way things are in the present moment. Unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways. Much of what we do every day is by choice. Certainly we need to go to work and support ourselves and those who depend on us, but we often stay much busier than is necessary and complicates our lives, and we end up saying when it comes time to meditate, I just don't have time or I'm too tired. So unburdened with duties can be taking care of our pets or taking care of our plants or taking care of obligations that we have signed up for. And in the practice of Dhamma, it becomes very important to withdraw from the world in as many ways as possible so that we can spend more time, more concentrated effort on the practice of our samadhi and the development of our mindfulness. Peaceful and calm and wise and skillful. These are states of consciousness that result from our deepening of our meditation practice and deepening the insights we arrive at through the practice of mindfulness that really constitute a level of wisdom. Not proud or demanding in nature. Okay, we're back to humility and expecting and demanding that people, governments, situations, even the weather, it meets our expectations, that we're always constantly dissatisfied with the way things are in the present moment and wishing to change others, wishing to change the situation, even including the weather. So we need to be constantly self-aware of the way these attitudes sneak into consciousness and recognize that when they do, we're always defending them. We're always having the opinion that things really should be the way we want them to be. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. So there's a story about a Zen monk in Japan and a small group of his followers who were suffering, as the whole country was at that time, from an acute famine. And when they went on their morning alms rounds, the villagers were also starving, and they finally realized they just simply couldn't afford to give food to the monks. They needed it for their own families if they were going to survive. So one day, the abbot said to his small group of students, in my meditation today, with my supernatural powers, I saw there was a family in the village who had just cooked a chicken, and it's cooling on their windowsill. And I also saw that we could steal that chicken, and no one would imagine that it was us, and no one would blame us. We can do that without getting caught. So his students argued with him briefly that it was against their vows and so on. And he said, never mind, this is an emergency, and we're starving. It's just something we must do. So they set off to head to the village, except for one monk, and the others carried on without him. So the abbot asked him, don't you believe what I said? Are you afraid of getting caught? Why aren't you going with the others? And the monk said, well, he said, the abbot said, nobody will know what you've done. And the young monk said, I will know. So this is the law of karma. It's not somebody watching us. It's not Lord Buddha or a god or any supernatural power taking notes on our daily thoughts, our daily speech, and our daily actions. We are making a record of those things ourselves through memory. We are making a record of everything that we think, say, and do. So let's do our best to live in such a way that if somebody were to read that record, download the computer chip of our mind, like the police do when they confiscate phones and computers from possible criminals. They get a whole record of behavior because it's recorded on a computer chip. Well, ours is similar to that. It's also recorded in our karma, and we're not ever getting away with anything. It doesn't matter whether authorities or family members or friends, etc., know about what we've thought or said or done. The fact is, we know, and there's no escaping from that. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. So here's a good example of how we would like to think, speak, and act, that it is always with happiness, with gladness, with a sense of satisfaction or sympathetic joy. We wish that all beings, so whatever definition you may use for that statement, all beings, we wish they could have their four requisites, food, shelter, clothing if they need it, and easily available. So may all beings be at ease. The suffering and the difficulty and the struggle that so many human beings have is obvious to us by the news that's broadcast in so many different ways. So instead of blaming, criticizing, demeaning, or downgrading people who are suffering, we wish in gladness and in safety that they might have an easier life. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, and here's the critical challenge, omitting none, the great or mighty, the medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near or far away, those born or to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another. We're going to carry on with the next episode on page 4, so we'll stop at this time. But in review, it's trying to define or articulate that don't leave anyone or any being, including mosquitoes and rats and snakes and bedbugs and fleas, and any other animal that you might not like, be afraid of, terrified of, anxious about, worry about, and all human beings, even those of a different political persuasion, different religion, gender, heritage, all beings, whether they're tall or short or overweight or beautiful, whether we can see them or not see them, meaning they could be ghosts, they could be angels, they could be beings we just simply don't know exist because we've never seen them, whether they are our neighbors or in foreign countries, whether they exist now or they are on the path to a rebirth. May they all live a life that is as free of suffering, mental suffering, emotional suffering, financial suffering, and of course physical suffering as possible. So we'll continue with the Metta Sutta in the next broadcast. If you think these simple Dhamma talks might be helpful to others, I encourage you to like and subscribe so the channel can grow and this Dhamma of the Forest Monk tradition can reach as many sincere practitioners as possible. Thank you very much.